The ancient Orient brings to mind imperial settings complete with emperors, concubines, and majestic courtyards. The palaces of royalty have distinct Oriental designs that have proved to be timeless. Even in this modern day, contemporary designers look to the traditions of the East for inspiration. From designing fine dining establishments to jewelry and pens, the Oriental design style is enjoying a renaissance of sorts today. It is commonly characterized by curves, wood, tassels, frosted surfaces, and bright floral colors. The materials used in Oriental design are often native rocks and metals that are found only in the East. With massive globalization this day, this particular style has now seen a plethora of interpretations. Fine Oriental cuisine has almost always been served in interiors that are designed to conform to the style of which the food is prepared. But what happens when the time-tested traditions of the ancient Orient are challenged and a modern twist is added, along with smatterings of European design traditions? A recipe for disaster? Well, in this case, this design formula seems to be a foundation for resounding success. Step into my humble house at Singapore's Esplanade Theatres on the Bay. Owned by the Tongluk Group, my humble house has become a shining example of how design has played a major role in the success of a business. A fine dining establishment serving traditional Chinese cuisine in a somewhat untraditional environment. Every space and trimming has been carefully designed and selected to conform to the overall theme of modern Oriental design.
Design is very, very important. Okay? You can have a very creative cuisine, but if you don't have a design to match, then the whole concept won't work. This is a designer's restaurant, and it has to be well thought of from the beginning to the end.
Located in the Esplanade, the owners wanted the interior design to complement the restaurant's theatrical setting. Bright color schemes, lush fabrics, materials, floor layouts, and even the larger-than-life furniture were all carefully chosen to create an extravagant, theatrical feel to the interior space.
There's always been the search for exotic, and funny enough, for the West, the East is exotic. It's like for the East, the West is kind of exotic in many ways, right? So I guess now everything chinoise and Asian is present in a lot of design elements, and
Classically European-inspired designs juxtaposed with classical Oriental motifs seem to blend seamlessly to provide a feeling of comfort and exoticism. Dramatic seating elements coupled with a Zen-like approach creates a contrast and an atmosphere of intrigue.
Good design should be impressive. It should give you a very good feeling the moment you walk into the premises.
you want to create a sense of surprises, so that's why you present a little bit, you discover it. It's kind of like I'm peeling an onion. You layer by layer, you discover, and that's important in the design.
Even the food design conforms to the modern Oriental theme that is prevalent throughout this space. Traditional Oriental drinks and dishes are presented with the utmost attention to detail.
We want to create an overall dining experience. So from the food, the ambience, the service, the music we play, the cutlery or the plates we use, the specially designed furniture, and so on. So every single thing here at the house, in the house, could be a talking point.
All in all, My Humble House is a bold step in challenging the common perceptions and traditions of Oriental design. All that's left to do now is to sit back and enjoy this culinary adventure. The Orient is famed for its unique jewelry design made famous throughout history. Perhaps it's the calming effect of the jade greens and sea blues. Or it could be the polished feel of the embellished textures. Nevertheless, Oriental-style jewelry is most certainly enjoying a revival. One such unique jeweler caught up in this is Mudan. Having set up shop 2 years ago in the heart of the city, Mudan's designer and owner Miri Ang is someone truly passionate about Oriental design.
Being part Chinese, I've always been very intrigued by the intricacies of Chinese jewelry, like jewelry that's been passed down from my grandmother to my mother. And I think Oriental designs are very, very intricate and very ornate that cannot be compared to with other forms of European design, for example. So in my designs, I've tried to capture that.
When it comes to design, no one style can claim to blend the old and new quite like the Oriental theme can. The creation process, the choice of materials used, and even the presentation of these collector's items are an eclectic blend of East meets West, old meets new. Our modern cosmopolitan lifestyle also has an impact on the Oriental design style. Some Oriental jewelry pieces may lack traditional precious stones such as diamonds, but what it lacks in economic value is made up for in the artistic appeal of the designs. These items demand a certain precision and deftness on the part of the designer during the creation process, and most importantly, an excessive amount of time to finish each piece.
I think what defines a good design would be, of course, firstly, aesthetically, it has to look beautiful. Second of all, I think for a piece of jewelry, it has to be wearable. Quality comes in next, I feel. And then the overall feel is very important, and it should be able to invoke some sort of inspiration to the wearer.
Overt opulence is not exactly the design objective of these pieces. Instead, the contrast of textures, shapes, and colors in Oriental jewelry design provide an intrigue that holds a cult appeal. Each design emulates the feminine elegance of ancient styles.
This piece is named River, and we've actually incorporated a piece of very raw jade from Burma, and this is grade A jade. And we've actually incorporated moss agate, which looks a little bit like stones. So it gives the effect that you're in nature, part of nature. And we've added this cinnabar fish, which actually means that it's sort of swimming, in the river. And then also this donut that gives another dimension in terms of shape to the whole overall necklace. So this is definitely Oriental touches with a modern twist.
Signature Oriental materials and its composition tell a story of each piece. Names are given to each production to reflect the narrative or reflection of the inspiration.
Jade has been long used by the Chinese people early on, early in the centuries. And we incorporate a lot of jade in our necklaces. It has to be the right materials. For example, we try to incorporate vintage embellishments into our necklaces, for example. And then in sourcing out for these items, we hope to create that sort of old feel, in the necklace. And we hope that it will make the wearer feel that he or she is wearing a piece of timeless tradition.
All in all, Oriental-inspired pieces such as this have stood the test of time. In this case, the embracing of one's heritage has become the inspiration for future works. As affluence grows in Asia, so does sophistication. Discerning consumers constantly demand more out of the designs of their products. What has traditionally been a humble tool for communication has now been transformed into works of orientally inspired art. Enter the world of Namiki pens. Famed for its black lacquered fountain pens, Namiki is the brainchild of the Pilot organization in Japan. Enjoying a long history since the early 1900s, the brand has been working hard to create exotic-looking Oriental designs in the world of penmanship. And how did the name Namiki come about then? It was Ryosuke Namiki, founder of Pilot Organization's predecessor back in 1918, that started a chain of events that gave rise to the Namiki brand today. Its dedication to design and artwork is testament to its distinct heritage.
We created the brand Namiki in 1994, and that was when we felt that we need to cater to the high-end market. Because of affluence, because of discerning tastes by end users, all right? People are just looking for more than a mass-produced product. We are unique in that sense that I think for putting artwork on a pen, we're probably the only manufacturer in the world.
Namiki pens have a distinctly Oriental feel to their designs. Exotic animation is brought to life in fountain pen collections like the Emperor, Nippon art, and zodiacal signs. The phoenix and dragon are etched on the smooth lacquered surface of these pens. The impeccable finish of these artistic masterpieces add a nice touch to the famed Namiki series.
Anybody can make an exquisite pen, but for a master who has a wizardry that gives you delight the moment you receive it. When you look at a pen that is done by a grand master, for example, your heart opens up and you can forget about everything else.
This particular pen is an interesting example of function complementing form in design. The intricate design on the pen's casing is matched by the advanced engineering that ensures a smooth flow once the pen touches paper.
It's exactly like buying a piece of art, and so the technology is what you cannot see. It's inside, it's in the system. But what you can see, all right, is what you are actually paying for. But obviously, the quality of the pen must live up to its reputation and its price image.
The designing process of a product reveals a lot about the creative team behind the brand. Pilot Corporation was the first to discover the latent abilities of Japanese black lacquer, a natural varnish that wouldn't fade in color even after 300 years. It was only natural then that lacquer was chosen to head the efforts in perfecting the Namiki design. And it stayed true to its traits with a built-in resistance to elements like heat and water, and a glossy finish that brought out the brilliance of colors used on the pens. With price tags reaching a high of $500,000, it is no wonder that the materials used in the designing process are put to the strictest tests as well. Mother of pearl, gold dust, and eggshell are utilized in various designs to give it a unique finish.
The art of lacquer is very oriental, and the Japanese has perfected it to the stage where they are able to put it on a pen, combined with other elements like gold dust, material like mother of pearl.
Attention to detail is the key for the artists behind the Namiki brand. For some complex pieces, the designing process takes a team of experts a minimum of 3 months to create a masterpiece each time. And this is where a high degree of skill and dedication is demanded from the artisan.
Very painstakingly done by the artist, day after day, until the product is completed. Because as you know, with lacquer, all right, you have to put one coat, and you have to wait. You have to wait for the lacquer to dry before you put another coat, and you have to then polish it. And the process, all right, it's painstaking.
The Namiki brand is fashioned to imbue a sense of wonder about Oriental design in the world of penmanship. Art connoisseurs can appreciate the effort by the artisans, devoting their every effort to the smallest details during the creation process. The Namiki brand then employs Oriental design to bring luxury to the few who can afford it. Most designers will tell you that well-received designs ultimately have an intrinsic value, an ability to evoke a specific emotion. In Oriental-inspired design, a sense of history and heritage is as important as the aesthetics and feel of the product. One retailer which has stayed true to these aspects of Oriental design is the Life Shop. Offering Oriental-inspired furniture with signature motifs and materials, the Life Shop has hit commercial success by having a signature look that works hard at evoking a sense of surprise and novelty.
Oriental furniture is something not difficult to fall in love with, because especially for us that's brought up in Asia, it is something that will always be very timeless, and there's so much history in it and its own beauty, its quiet beauty. So especially if we can interpret it and fit into the modern homes, it just gives them this sense of identity.
Started in Singapore in 1994, the Life Shop has raised the bar for Asian and Oriental works in the international furniture industry. An Oriental approach with a cosmopolitan outlook results in simple forms and earthly colors. The inspiration for the design stemmed from a multitude of sources, from folded leaves to Chinese opium beds. Teak and timber are recurrently used to imbue the furniture with a distinct Oriental quality.
We free the timber from its rigidity of solid wood. It's not just carving. And we make curves meet another, and we start to enjoy coming up with our own very unique fluid line of timber. Part of it is because of the way we love wood, and we didn't want to waste the material.
Furniture design at the Life Shop is not a lonely process. The designers meet and sound ideas off each other, giving birth to designs that transcend traditional boundaries of culture.
Designing furniture is not a one-angle thing. They have to think from, not a literal sense of how to put these ideas at work, because they have to find that sense of surprise.
Each design aims to promote traditional Oriental values like humanity and strong family ties. This is brought through by subtle nuances in the design of the furniture.
Design affects life, and this aspect of it, they learn to actually accept the table doesn't need to be straight. And when they put their elbow on the table and they have a chat, the table hugs them. So as they approach and they go nearer and they touch and they use it and they bring it into their life, it becomes part of their life.
From home fashion accessories to even kids fashion, each product captures the essence of the Orient. It is this dedication to heritage and culture that has been the backbone of the Life Shop. And that wraps up our journey through the design world of the ancient Orient, a world where age-old traditions are revered, where heritage and culture are key values for the modern-day designers. Lavish classical European designs have long been associated with grand palaces and castles of monarchies, as well as aristocracy decked out in elaborate gowns and jewelry. Everything from classical European fashion to furniture has a distinct sense of grandeur and opulence to it. This design style that is dedicated to the use of precious materials, presented in typically golden or bronze hues, have influenced modern-day designs across the globe. In the domain of traditional European furniture, classical motifs and opulent details create an aura of old-world elegance and splendor. Take a step into Singapore-based fine furniture retailer Le Mercier's.
Design to Le Mercier's is a top priority for our company. We choose designers from the top designers to the good middle-end designers who are up and coming, so we have a good choice for our consumers when they come in and have a look. We don't believe that design is something that should be led by magazines telling the consumer what to buy. We believe that the consumer should feel comfortable in what they buy and what they like, and we try to offer that to the consumer.
Serving a broad spectrum of clientele, some of the more eminent projects Le Mercier has done include royal palaces in Malaysia and Brunei. Established more than 20 years ago, this upmarket brand retails and distributes an extensive range of fine furnishings sourced from Italy, Spain, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. Exceedingly, these classical furniture pieces have made their way into Asian spaces. Whether it's the sturdy Baroque armchair or the richly carpeted floors, the furnishings are designed to focus on strength and comfort while retaining the dignified air of an antique past.
Ancient monarchies, through the books that they read, and they look at the beautiful homes and the palaces in Europe, and they say, I want this. And then they've got money overnight to have it. So that's, I think, the main reason why. But I think classic will always be very popular.
The highly ornate traditional European style calls to mind images of luxury and grandeur. The classical design places an emphasis on line, shape, and form. Graceful and elegant curved lines are enhanced by black enamel and lacquer. Cabriole legs culminate in a distinct S shape. From voluminous beds and heavy fabric to whimsical statues and crystal displays, the classical design reverberates in different forms. Even colors play a part in imparting the look of luxury.
But I think also what makes the product is the fabrics or the color of the product. Anyone can buy a sofa set, but how do you play the sofa set in terms of the fabric, the cushions? Buying a dining chair, a dining table could look completely different with the wrong fabric. So that's, I think, where, which is very, very important.
The finest details are elaborately handcrafted. Be it in the majestic lion heads that rest on the leg of an end table, or winged griffins that adorn the sides of a vase, these elements add a touch of drama to the inherently eye-catching nature of European furnishings.
This particular piece is a chaise lounge coming from the Biedermeier era. It's got that traditional 1910, 1915 period where it was very elaborate, designed to showcase the features when someone walks into an entrance of a house or into a hotel lobby. This particular fabric is woven in Italy. It's a very popular piece amongst our products.
The motifs are another unmistakable feature of the traditional European design. The neoclassical look has inspiration borrowed from ancient Roman, Greek, and Egyptian times. The designs are further punctuated by adding a fancy variety of gold-toned tassels and fringes.
I find what's very interesting in a design piece is it's the material that you use, how they match it. Like, for example, with glass with leather, something two different mediums, completely two different mediums. I mean, wood with glass, which is quite common, but to me that's what makes design. How they play around with materials, how they look at the proportions of the product. It's and where form meet function in design. That's very, very important.
Solid oak, walnut, mahogany, and rosewood are common materials used in this design. The use of wood as a tactile and flexible medium delights the eyes and relaxes the body. The Le Mercier showroom demonstrates the brand's belief that the environment in which the furniture pieces are housed is just as important as the furnishings themselves. The attention to the layout of the showroom is aimed at effectively showcasing the exclusively imported European furniture. Whether to furnish the opportunity to dine in a regal style or to have an elaborate chandelier as a conversation piece, Le Mercier aspires to steer away from the staid and boring to result in an enhanced user experience. The inimitable European style is evinced by a sophisticated motif and full contours. When this design style is synthesized with the most intricate technology, what you get is a harmonious blend of high watchmaking skills with polished elegance. And the company responsible for distributing some of these pieces of mechanical creativity is Sincere Watch.
Design is an integral part of the Sincere DNA. If you look at the brands that Sincere represents, design has always been one of the main components in deciding whether or not to carry them. By and large, Asians still prefer classic and elegant styles, but with the increasing sophistication of customers and the fact that we are much more well exposed to trends, people are becoming more ready to accept different types of designs as well.
Historically, the watchmaking craft is firmly anchored in Switzerland, which explains the undertaking of a European style. Many artistic crafts are essential to watchmaking, and while great respect is shown for perfect mastery of them, when one contemplates the beauty and precision in the creation of each part, the emotional value of the timepiece is sometimes considered priceless.
Watches have moved beyond being just functional timepieces. Watches are now viewed as an accessory. They are an extension of one's character, one's personality, and a reflection of our lifestyle in general.
We strive to achieve harmony, form and function, marrying technical innovations with aesthetic perfections, which in a timepiece is very difficult.
A watch does not simply just tell time. There are also objects of art, emanating an air of refinement and charm. For Sinciere's fine watches, those bearing the European style are the epitome of European art and beauty.
For a design to be good, it has to pay attention to every single detail. You're talking about super craftsmanship that goes into decorating the watch.
Perceivably meticulous attention to detail in the design permits the favorable reception of the watches. The micro-engineering marvels embody a sense of life as it ticks away. For these watches, a high level of craftsmanship and engineering goes into each creation. Likewise, the unique curved shapes and distinct lacquered dials are manifestations of competent craftsmanship.
What is interesting about designs is that it's not new. It borrows from the Art Deco period. Basically, it's a period that hails, the arrival of the machine age. And this is characterized by bold outlines and streamlined forms. And when we talk about Art Deco, we think vibrant colors. We think about simple lines which are elegant and presented in a way that you describe it as cool sophistication.
To complete the dignified mien of the European style, it warrants the use of superior and noble materials like platinum and even diamonds. The occasional use of exotic materials steer away from time-old traditions, yet always retaining that distinct aura of classic European glamour.
Most importantly, the design has to withstand the test of time, because a lot of the design can be wow yesterday but yawn today, because they have failed to remain appropriate for customers, and they get bored with it, and I think that's a poor design element.
Collectors can indulge in being able to customize watches with their personal insignia to commemorate an occasion, so the watch becomes part of one's heritage and collection. The emotional dimension is the crux to entrenching the appreciation for the European design, and Sincere aims to present this to customers through their luxury timepieces.
Well-designed watches create a sense of belonging, a sense of attachment. It becomes an embodiment of what you are and what you represent as well.
If there was one event that spans the globe that very often stays true to its European traditions, it is the wedding. Holy matrimony between a man and a woman. Even modern-day marriage ceremonies in westernized countries in Asia or otherwise have a distinct European feel to it. When it's all said and done though, what often stands out in grand ceremonies such as these is the gown and fashion accessories that the bride wears. And located in the heart of Singapore's Shangri-La Hotel is a bridal boutique that typifies the grace of the European design style. Enter the Link Wedding.
This is the temple of discussion, the Link Wedding. So the mother of the bride, the whole family, the husband-to-be, they're always here discussing, which style would be befitting for the bride-to-be, and they are, that's why our consultants here are always patient, just to discuss, the special dress that the bride would like to be seen in.
The furnishings in the room serve as an integral decorating tool to bestow a regal air. Plush white seating is fashioned with a Victorian flavor. The European theme is further emphasized by the decorative accessories placed pristinely on lighted shelves. Lavishly assembled jewelry pieces and exquisite tiaras bear a stately European influence. Dishes and flatware are enhanced by fine curves and opulent patterns. Teamed with fresh white roses, they provide the finishing touches to the overall look.
What's very important is how the ambience would be. It's supposed to be very pleasurable, calm, beautiful, dreamlike.
The focal point of this luxury bridal boutique is the sumptuous bridal gowns hanging delectably on the walls. These tool-backed and chiffon creations appear to offer a modern spin to European-styled inspirations. In the tradition of European couture, rich fabric such as silk is weaved in with impeccable tailoring. The appreciation of the classic design of these gowns require a closer look at the luxurious details used in the craftsmanship. Intricate and delicate hand beading with Swarovski crystals and seed pearls adorn the bodices of the bridal gowns, contributing to the overall glamour of the design.
When they come here, there's no hassle. They are pampered, they are looked after, they feel beautiful. It's a preparation for that special day. So they are like the princess, treated royally, beautifully.
The Link Wedding is a space which sets its sights on capturing the essence and beauty of the European design. Perhaps the whimsical element that the European design style exudes is a most fitting complement to the concept of a perfect wedding. Crystals have long held their place in the private collections of European monarchs and emperors, along with other things deemed rare and precious. The European design of these gemstones take its cue from its historical employment to enhance the splendor of palaces in Europe. It may be the ethereal quality of these elegant designs that gives it a global appeal. This is where Swarovski crystals come in.
But now with us Asians traveling around the world much more than in the past, we will just embrace the designs into our own world now.
Once the fetishes of alchemists and believed to have mystical properties, crystals are now showing up in a myriad of interpretations, from decor elements in bathrooms to accents in classical crystal chandeliers. With ornate curves and intricate features, its presence in classic jewelry, luxury watches, fine collector's figurines, veer towards the extravagance of the European design style. The richly hued crystals articulate the opulence of the European aristocracy in a form that seeks to arouse the senses.
For me personally, the crystal must appeal to me. It must awaken my emotions. And the crystal, to be defined as a good design for Swarovski, must be with quality, precision, innovation, and a trendsetter.
The European style of the Swarovski gems hark back to their origins when Daniel Swarovski founded the company in 1895 in Austria. Since then, the intimately designed crystals have invaded the glamorous fashion and jewelry industries.
I think when we think of Swarovski as perceived by the consumers, it's always very high-end. It is very influenced by the European market in most of our designs that it comes from. And also, I think basically it's because the base of Swarovski is from Austria, and we will somehow have to link our heritage through where we come from.
Keen attention is paid to the finest details on each individual piece. Polishing techniques bring out a lustrous finish and luminous glow, while precision cutting strives to achieve clean-cut lines that are reminiscent of the timeless European design.
The most important factor of it is the designs, that is the production and the craftsmanship of the product by the designers, what they bring into life, a piece of item. Just as if we produce a dog, you could see the dog barking at you and running towards you. It's the emotions and the feelings you have behind the items that you own.
The Swarovski designers source their ideas from a range of inspirations in an attempt to deliver designs that embody the luxury touch synonymous with European gentry.
From the stage of starting on a design on a team to the designers having to do their prototypes and then agreeing with the mass market, showing it to different levels of people to agree whether would this appeal to consumers from the day of the initial production to the day when it's out in the market. It would take at least 3 years.
The products where crystals serve as an embellishment appear to display the many facets of its remarkability. Coupled with the European design style, the Swarovski crystals target the exclusivity and uniqueness of a decidedly royal collection. And that's our look at this classical inspiration rich in European history and tradition. One design style with a rich variety of manifestations on Inside Design.